So there's a lot of tendinitis, like forearm, elbow area. We get a lot of that. Achilles tendinitis, ACL from skiing and snowboarding. Rotator cuff tears, very common too, I would say.
Welcome back to How Much Can I Make? The podcast about jobs and earnings. I'm your host, Mirav Ozeri. Today, we're talking with Trish Groff, the director and a physical therapist at AccessPT, about her job, about her career, and what it takes to succeed in this field, and the realities of running a really busy clinic. Funny thing, or the sad thing I should say, that after we finished recording, Trish mentioned something that I must share here, and that is physical therapy can actually treat vertigo. I was so surprised. I had to call friends of mine that I know are suffering from vertigo, suffered in the past many times, and I asked them, did you know about it? And nobody knew about it. So there's a lot to be said about physical therapy, but let's hear it directly from Trish, all about physical therapy and what it takes. Thanks, Trisha, for doing it. I really, really appreciate it. Physical therapy is an important thing.
Yeah.
I want to start by what drew you to that field.
So I've always been really interested in the human connection and how the brain works. So I actually first went to school for psychology, and then I'm so empathetic towards others that I realized being a psychotherapist might not be the best idea for me. I think I would take it home with me, So I was like, what else can I use in this way? Or what's in the healthcare field? And I was really into fitness at the time, and it just came together. I started to learn what physical therapy was, and I worked in a physical therapy clinic as an aide. So I was grabbing their hot packs and cold packs and stuff, and I was in the environment, and I realized that that was what I wanted to do.
So you said something interesting. You were interested in the brain. Is physical therapy connected?
Yeah.
A lot of it comes from the brain?
Absolutely, in many different ways.
What do you give me an example?
Yeah, patients think they can never get back to something that they love ever again. They think they're doomed or something, So physical therapy gives them that hope of being able to return to the things that they love, and it improves their quality of life. But then there's also neurological conditions that someone can suffer from, right? Like a stroke or something. That's all the brain. That's all how the brain works. So,
how many years did you have to study?
7.
7?
Yeah.
What? I didn't think physical therapists going through. I know doctors go through.
You have to get your doctorate.
What?
Yeah, so it's your undergrad. So it can actually be 6 or 7 depending on the program you're in.
Yeah.
But you have to get your bachelor's degree in something, usually biology or psychology or the combination or whatever, and then you go into the doctorate program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They call it DPT, Doctorate of Physical Therapy.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
You started as actually treating people, right?
I started as an aide. You can't treat people. Is that what you mean when I was the aide in the clinic?
No, but after that, after you did the aide, then you started with actually treating, because I know now you are the director of the facility.
Oh, yes. So I still treat full-time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, the admin is on top of it.
Oh my God.
So it's sprinkled throughout the day, and there's more things I have to do than the others, but yeah, I still treat full-time.
Why did you take the extra? Is it extra pay also?
It is a little extra pay because it comes with more responsibility, but I'm just someone that always wants more. What's my next move? What's my next step? And so that was the next step for me.
So what are your responsibilities as a director?
So I manage the staff and the clinic, right? Making sure everyone has what they need, making sure everything's flowing right. How's the schedule looking, budget, making sure it has what it needs in the clinic, like machines and equipment-wise and all that kind of stuff.
I saw that you have a lot of rooms.
Yeah.
So you can treat how many people at the same time?
So we do have rooms here. Not every clinic does. It's typically an open gym with tables. Sometimes they have curtains you can pull. We work out of an old house.
Okay.
So our clinic's a little different than most, but this area loves that. They love that it's not a commercial building. The people in this neighborhood, they love that it's a house. So we do have rooms, and we take advantage of the rooms when it's the patient's first day. So we bring the patient in for their evaluation. We close the door, talk about what they're going through, how long it's been, take measurements of everything, look at how they're moving. And then usually all the follow-up treatments are out in the open. unless for some reason the patient's uncomfortable with it, or maybe we have to we have a therapist that does pelvic floor. She's obviously always in a room with the door shut because she's doing an internal exam.
Okay.
So we're not always in the individual rooms. A lot of times we're out in the open because there's multiple people working at a time. But we do have that availability here, which is nice.
What are the most common cases that come to you?
I would say it depends where you are, but overall I see the most back pain, whether it's acute or chronic. Yeah, I would say back and necks, people suffering with back or neck pain, like a lot during the day.
Is it injury or things over time deteriorating?
Both. There's both. An acute injury is a little quicker to treat typically because something just happened and you can name it and they know what they did or whatever. But chronic can take a little bit longer. Maybe they waited forever to come in. Maybe their posture is really awful. But both are treatable.
And usually they're referred by a doctor to you, or people just decide?
Yeah. A lot of the time they're referred by their doctor. Like they go for their primary checkup visit and they're complaining about discomfort somewhere and the doctor writes them a script. But a lot of patients come in and they're like, hey, I went to my doctor and I asked them for a PT script because they didn't even bring it up. And so patients have to advocate for themselves. I think once a family member starts PT and spreads the word, or friends start PT and spread the word, more and more people understand what it is. And it's honestly good for everybody. I feel like everyone has something that they could work on. But most people wait until they're in pain and then they show up.
I take it that there are more than one treatment. It's few treatments, right?
Yeah, you're seen twice a week typically.
Twice a week?
Yeah, for however many weeks, 6, 8.
What do you think is the average to solve a back problem?
Is it acute or chronic?
Chronic.
Chronic, it depends on the patient, their personality, and if they do their stuff at home. So if it's someone that sits all day long and they're only moving when they come here for PT, they could take seriously forever. I mean, it's like a fight between the two. And I always have the conversation this is team effort. And if you're not doing your end, this is pointless. I would say that 8 weeks is pretty good, 8 to 10 weeks, and they're on a good exercise regimen if they're walking and doing their stuff for chronic.
So is the main culprit for back pain is sitting too long and sitting too much?
I'd say that's the most common.
Really?
Lately. Yeah, whether patients are elderly and they're just kind of sitting around, they don't have much to do, or it's people that sit at a desk all day.
So do you get also sports injury?
Yeah, we do.
What's the most common? Is it like a weekend warrior or is it like a actual athlete?
We don't get a lot of avid athletes, but people play pickleball, tennis, golf around here. We get skiers and snowboarders because we live by the mountain. So you have sprains, strains, tendinitis, repetitive. We live in an area here, or we work in an area where there's a lot of artists, whether they paint or draw or they play an instrument. So there's a lot of tendinitis, forearm, elbow area. We get a lot of that. Achilles tendinitis, ACL from skiing and snowboarding. Rotator cuff tears, very common too, I would say.
So I'm a tennis player and a pickleball player. So I'm very curious to ask you about that.
Yeah.
First of all, can you treat tennis elbow?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. That's a repetitive strain, so.
Oh my God, I had it and I didn't know that's physical. Really?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And what's the most common injury you see from pickleball?
I would say back pain from the rotation. Yeah.
Oh my God, who knew?
Yeah, and it became this fad recently.
Yes.
People that didn't play any sports or didn't exercise at all, they just started pickleball. They don't know how to warm up or cool down or anything. So we got a good amount of pickleball people in the past year. When
you say cool down, you mean stretches and stuff? Is that really important?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I have to start doing it.
I can give you some pointers.
Yes, I would definitely would like to. So it's almost a personal question, but somebody can sneeze and get a back pain.
Yeah.
How long a treatment for something like this would take?
That's a disc issue. PTs are pretty good at treating that. That can be
really?
Yeah, that can be quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, depending on how intense it is and if it's off to the side or straight back, but yeah.
What would you say is the difference between a PT and a chiropractor, for example?
So I can't really speak for chiropractors, but from what I know from chiropractors, they are doing it to the patient. So it is a quick manipulation of movement that they're doing to the spine. We have the patient work with us. So we do some things passively, stretching, moving them this way or that way, but they're actually exerting the effort most of the time to make a change, whether it's through strengthening exercises or muscle energy technique or something. like that.
Wow, interesting.
And PT, you do it more often. Like a chiro, you kind of check in with, but PT, it's like, all right, let's be twice a week for 6 weeks. Let's get these muscles strong. You'll probably meet your goals. If you need us in the future, come back. But you set them up with a whole regimen. And I don't know, I think some great chiropractors do that. They'll give a couple exercises and stretches, but not all do. They'll just do their mobile manipulations. And
I would assume, I may be wrong, that it's a very physical job. Is it?
It is, yeah.
Explain, tell me.
I mean, it's even in the name, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said before, I'm all over the place. I'm grabbing equipment for this one, or I'm doing joint mobilizations on this patient. So it's manual in a sense where, or physical in a sense where we're working on the patient. We're stretching their leg or their arm or doing joint mobilizations to improve a certain motion, or we're just running them through their exercises and we're back and forth between the other patients. So I would say a combination of pacing the clinic, actually having your hands on the patient. There's also things that we do where like the patient resists us. So like we'll have the patient work with us physically. So they're pressing up into our hand, we're pressing down with our hand to kind of like move things into different positions.
So resistance exercises.
Resistance can be manual therapy to reposition a part of their body, like the actual bones, or it can be resistance where they're doing an exercise and you have like a band or a weight on them.
You said, you press on the patient, you do exercise and all of that. How do you build the trust with and as a woman, when you work on a man, is there a problem? I mean,
building trust is huge. I do that from day one. So when I take that patient in the room on that first day and I shut the door, I kind of sense like what their attitude is, what they're going through, how they're feeling. And like, you just know personal professional judgment, how to speak to that patient. What does that patient need in particular? Sometimes they need their hand held and all in the beginning. And then you're like, all right, we're getting independent now, whatever. But definitely getting their trust is step one.
Before you said if people don't do the work at home, do you follow up on that? How do you know if they do it or don't do it?
Oh, we know. We know. And sometimes they tell us that they do it and they don't do it.
Oh, really?
For sure.
And how do you know?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I ask them to do what they do at home. They'll say, oh, well, usually I have the paper by me, or what was it again, or something. That's like a simple one. But also, you just know by how their body's looking. If you gave them the right things to do and they're still not looking very well, either you didn't give them the right exercise as a PT or they're not doing their stuff at home. So, and then others are truthful. They're like, listen, I'm super busy. I know it's important. I'm very sorry. I haven't done it.
Tell me a story that comes to mind of a success story with a patient.
I would say one of my biggest successes, and he actually passed away recently, which is sad, but my one patient, he had suffered from diabetes most of his life. And then for 10 plus years, he had controlled his diet. He was doing so well, but because he had that sugar issue for so long, he did end up losing one of his legs.
Oh, yeah.
And he was such a hard worker. He was so motivated. It was unbelievable. I mean, the effort that he put in the clinic and at home was like, you would cry watching him. It was just unbelievable. We got him back to driving and stairs and doing all these things. He was doing so well. Couple months go by and he calls me up and he says, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but now I have to lose my other leg. So we had to start all over again. So now he had 2 prosthetics.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yes, they were both below knee, and we got him back to driving and stairs and walking and curves. Yeah, it was unbelievable. He did it all over again. So, and
How old was the patient?
Oh, man. I want to say he was in his 70s, but I really don't remember for sure. Yeah.
Wow, when you got him back.
Yeah. Yep.
That is a success story.
It really was.
For sure.
Yeah.
As a director of the clinic, and it's a beautiful clinic, I saw it.
Thank you.
What is your biggest challenge?
I think they change over time. Right now, my biggest challenge is the hiring and retention of an employee. I've had some turnover a few times. Actually, today is one of the full-time's last days. She was a travel therapist before she started with us, and I think she just wants to try something else. When you lose somebody and you do have such a wait list and such a caseload, it's tough because all these patients need their care, and sometimes you have to tell them, like, I'm sorry, you're only once next week instead of twice, or I can't get you in. Luckily, we're a big company, so even though we have this clinic in this town, we do have neighboring towns with clinics in them, so we can be like, are you comfortable going over to this town for your visit just for next week so you're seen twice and then come back. I think that's the most stressful thing for me right now is hoping that everyone gets the sessions that they need.
And your job is from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5? Or?
Everyone has a different schedule here. I am 7:30 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday, and Fridays I'm 7:30 to 1. I have 2 therapists that do the evening shift. So I start at 7:30 for those that can come before work, and they work later in the evening for those that have to come after work.
Okay.
So we try to be open for the public for when they need it.
When you said paperwork, is it for insurance? Do you accept insurance?
It's the worst part of our job. Any PT
Why?
would tell you that. The documentation, it's tedious and it takes time. And if you don't finish it during your day, you're doing it at home. A lot of PTs end up burnt out. And it's not just from the patient care, it's from having to do this documentation.
Oh, my.
It really takes time. Yeah.
What is a beginner's pay in PT?
So when I first started, I think I started at like...
How long ago was that?
2017.
Okay.
I think I started at like 60-something, mid-60s. And now undergrad or people that have just graduated, they're making 85 to 95 in the outpatient world. It's different if you're in a hospital or a rehab setting, and I don't know what I've only been outpatient.
They started 85?
Yeah.
You started at 60 even though you have a PhD?
Tell me about it.
Oh my
Yep.
God, that's
yeah,
a
this is my
travesty.
4th job. Yeah, I went from 60 to 73 to like,
Oh my God.
So it's definitely
That's
higher now, but could be higher.
When you hire somebody as a physical therapist, what are you looking
Yeah.
for? What are the credentials you're looking for? What do you want? How do you make your decision, hire or not hire?
I want them motivated. I love when they're eager to learn and just give the patients the best care that they can. And you can tell their personality,
You can,
it matters.
But you also look where they studied.
Honestly, I don't mind what college they went to. They have to get their doctorate in PT or they have to be a physical therapy assistant.
Okay.
And whatever school you go to, you get your degree and certificate. So I don't really mind what school they went to. I'm interested. I'll ask like where you've been living, whatever. But
Right.
I more care if they want to continue learning because things change over time. And I want them to want to learn throughout the whole time they're a PT, continuing ed and different techniques and not use the same thing on every patient. It's terrible when people do
When you say things change all the time,
Yeah.
totally leads me to technology. Do you use technology in treating people? Do you see it coming?
I mean, we're on our laptops all day typing, but as far as like some fancier clinics, we don't really have the equipment, but some other clinics, they'll like attach things to patients and that's how they know how strong they are and stuff. And they have things they can stand on and test their vestibular system. And they have all this technology like that. We don't really have any of that in this clinic. The only technology I see increasing in our clinic that's to come is like dictation. So probably helping us with our notes, being able to just talk into something and it types something up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody that want to get into PT?
I think test it out like I did. Go be an aide somewhere and submerge yourself in the environment. And if you feel like you love it and you're truly passionate about it, go for it. But if you're not sure, I mean, the schooling is a lot. It's super expensive. So if you don't think you're going to like it, don't do it. But if you feel really passionate about it, it is so rewarding.
Can
I love
somebody start by internship somewhere?
Yeah, they can shadow, things like that. And then if you do end up going into the doctoral program, you have months at a time where you do like a clinical rotation. So a PT is your teacher and you're hands-on. But that's part of the curriculum once you're in it. Yes, you can observe prior to that.
I can see in your eyes that you
Yeah,
love this job.
I do love it. Yeah.
What's the thing that makes you love it the most?
I think just like giving patients hope and then seeing them achieve their goals that they set, especially when they don't think they can. That's a game changer. It's just
Totally.
as rewarding for the therapist as it is for the patient, for sure.
Totally. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This
I
was
hope
fun.
I will never need physical therapy. But I'm glad to know that I have such a good place in my town.
We're here for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's a wrap for today. If you have a comment or question or would like us to cover a certain job, please let us know. Visit our website at howmuchcanimake.info. We would love to hear from you. And on your way out, don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with anyone who is curious about their next job. See you next time.